Hey, welcome everybody. It's a wild Monday. A lot of news, obviously, with the Mueller report, the collusion. I'm not sure that's. We had some pretty significant action overnight. Opened higher. Your Asian session, as I tweeted out, popped the market down today. Intraday, there's a couple things that we are still focused in on. The number of 2785 is a big number, but better yet, on an intraday basis, we've got a conflict of what's happening here. Our current position in day trading, we've had a couple little pops in the market. System went long, as you can see. It got out of one position and it's trailing the balance. And you can see right now, long one. Why long one? It's long from 27.96 and 3/4, as we've been talking about in the room. We're at 28.10 and 3/4, up $700 on the one lot. Now, the algo system, this is the algo 17. This is what we show up in our live trading room, and this is actually live right now. There's a couple things I'm not nervous about, but one of the things that I like is the fact that the market generated, it hit support, the overnight Asian session low, A. It went long on a good volume pickup. This is our volume indicator. So when that thing pops off, it shows that there's accumulation and the trade can do well. Currently, the emergency stop is this orange line, and it's trailing, and that's what these lines in the sand, the blue line, those are the lines in the sand. So if something happens that's got the emergency stop in the market, this is a great trade, and I'm going to tell you why this was a great trade. Let me get this arrow here. That was the entry. That was the stop, low risk with high accumulation and volume. That is what we're looking for a move up. Now, what's the bad news? Well, the bad news is that we have a short on from Friday in the spider, and it does have a trailing stop function as well. The longer term volume trend is down. So my guess is S&Ps can go wherever they want to go on an intraday basis. It's really, at the end of the day, what's going to happen, how the market closes for higher time frame. So my thought is this, and my message is this. It just goes to prove a point that not all the time, if you take counter trend trades, is that a bad thing. The market's in a downtrend in a higher time frame, but the 5 minutes recovering off support. So short-term traders, you guys can take both sides of the trade. That's the nature of day trading, pretty much, right? Now, it's our job to say, it's better to go with the trend of the market. You get a little bit more fruit off the tree, so to speak, when you're going with the dominant trend of the market. So for right now, happy with this upside potential. I try not to figure out what the market can do in between the day. I just try to take and be on the right side of the trade and let the algo take over for our trade community. So if you're in my live trading room, this is what you're seeing. This is what you would hear. And more importantly, this, just in case, you could actually see and witness exactly when it went long, the strategy price it goes long, and the performance of what that trade is doing, the time it got in, and then now you can manage that trade entirely. That's what's really cool. In addition, we also had an objective to be short in crude oil, and we had a target way down here. Unfortunately, the algo system took over. It had a couple great trades already today. It had one little loser, and then it took another breakout. It lost, but it made all of that and more. But here's the key. The sell signal came at this point when the volume was moving lower. So while we had an initial profit target, the blue line, that was our major profit target. What happened? Market did about face, reversed, and went straight up. So crude oil was down, and I'm not sure what's real news or fake news. But let me tell you something. The news came out in Asian that crude oil's down because of global economic weakness. Hogwash. Hogwash. I think you can't believe what the headline news is. I don't know if, believe it or not, if you saw the movie Wall Street. Remember when they picked up the phone and they said, Blue Horseshoe likes Anacott Steel. Imagine this. Hedge fund billionaire calls up his pal over at, I don't know, some news agency and says, hey, if you put out some headline news that will perk up some algos on headline news and cause maybe sell program. I'll put a pool in your house. Reporter says, but I don't have a house. Well, you will in the Hamptons with a pool if you put stuff like this out. I'm not saying that exists, but it sure would make a good storyline in that TV show on Showtime called Billions. Anyway, here's the story. We also have a nice little breakout going on in the euro currency. Seasonally speaking, this one we gave out expressly in the live trading room right now. Why did I like that particular trade? The volume was moving up, A, and B, we also saw something very important happen. We closed greater than the daily pivot. So part of what we looked at today, by the way, gang, was also this. The ATR at the time was only 39 points. That's the average true range, 39 points. The 10-day ATR is 66. I said this gives you room to run and expand in the upside. So we like that little trade in the euro currency. Seasonally speaking, the euro actually does go up at the end of the quarter in March. So this might have something to do with U.S. corporations maybe repatriating money flow and bank settlements. I don't know. But here's what I can tell you. You will notice in the SPY, something just interesting kicked in based on the close. You see that red line in the sand? That's the stop. This system, short right there, will take out. If that high is attained, you will see this position exited. Notice that the VXX on Friday, it got into a long, it trailed the stop. Unfortunately, it got out and left a little bit of money on the table, but went flat for the weekend, and I think we did update you that on the weekly video. So two things I want you to walk away with is number one, if you want to rely on incredible indicators and an algo system helping you pinpoint entries, exits, and so that you can mimic and see stuff like this day in, day out, you need to join the Person's Planet trading room. This is the algo room, and then we also have the main live room. The main live room goes over a bunch of other things. Namely, what we go over is positions that we are looking at in our weekly advisory service. Two things that we've got going on here that we look at, and I'll just share this with you before we sign off. We bought a pullback in Noble. We bought a pullback in Hess. We also bought a pullback in Wells Fargo. And so ironically, in this whole crazy scheme of things, those are the stocks that are doing, well, not firing off greatly. They are doing amazing compared to their brethren in their sectors. They're outperforming. At the end of this day and into Tuesday, we will be watchful to see if we get turnaround signals in maybe Momo, Etsy, and Double Y. These are all starting to recover right now. I want to tell you why I'm looking for these particular stocks. They're bright, they're dark blue. That means their relative strengths are outperforming relative to the market. I want to go with stocks in sectors that tend to go up, and I want to stick with the ones that have, again, positive relative strength to the overall market. So we will be talking about a lot of things this week, some option strategies. We also have a few earnings out on the calendar. Let's take a quick look. All right, so well, without much more ado, here you go. We've got a couple things out this week. By the way, this is some of the things that we're looking to get into. Retail apparel, a couple of those, department stores, marijuana stocks, canopy growth on pullbacks, and hopefully we get it this week. Dow DuPont, Illinois Toolworks and Materials, and Disney. I don't know if we get that pullback today, next week. By the way, very important numbers we're looking at. A daily close below 2788. And by the way, that was near today's low when the S&Ps bounced off that support. 277.90 in the SPY. That's going to daily close below that. That's going to trigger a move. And we'll see if that, again, that conflict between what the 5-minute buys do against support and the daily end-of-day signal triggers. Here's the thing. We now have open positions. We bought in last week Wells Fargo, we have Noble Energy, and we have Hess. Why? Because those were the strongest sectors in the book. So for this week, what we're looking at is we've got Kronos, Pot Company. It's almost like Home Builder Week. We've got Housing Start report, economic reports coming out. We've got Lennar, we got KB Home, but we're going to be taking a look at Restoration Hardware, big expensive store for home buyers and all the things that go into a home, like kitchen cabinet accessories and things like that. CarMax, and then the other one that we're going to be watchful for is Shoe Carnival. Did they have the power to pull off a good quarter? That's what we do in our trading room and what we look for. I hope you found this useful, just to let you know, bottom line, it's okay to go counter trend trade with the right reasons. So if you see the market test the support and volume comes in, you can go chase that. Just use stops, trail your stops, number one, and always, always, always take something off the table. I don't know where this market's going to end. I wish I did. I just know that the system will do one thing. It will alert me as to how to take money off the table and get me out for me. You guys, hope you find value in this. Come join us if you need better insights in the market. This is where you're going to find it. At PersonsPlanet.com, live trading room, either the main room or the algo room, because you get both rooms for the price of one. Thanks for joining us.